When replacing a door threshold, buying the correct threshold will ensure a proper fit and make installation easier. I've removed an old, worn-out vinyl top threshold so new flooring can be installed. If you have this type of threshold, it's likely a pre-hung door, and the threshold is attached to the door jamb. The bottom of the door should have a seal on it. After the new flooring was installed, I measured the gap between the floor and the bottom of the door. Measure the clearance on the other side of the door. Best practice for installation of this type of threshold is to bevel the bottom of the door. In older homes, you may find a rather large gap because the door was cut to accommodate 1970s era shag carpet. Pemco's Model 206 was the best fit for my door. I chose dark bronze to match the dark colored door and had it cut to 32 inches long. If you cut down a stock threshold, the pre-drilled holes may not be conveniently placed. When choosing a threshold height, the goal is to have the bottom of the door compress the vinyl seal around 1/16 to 1/8 of an inch. The Band-Aid for a threshold that is too low and allowing air under it, or small creatures, is the door sweep. The trouble with the door sweep is that it can drag on high carpets. This adjustable top vinyl threshold is great for uneven floors and doors. It has 4 adjusting bolts. The vinyl top can be adjusted to different heights along the length of the threshold. Before I cut the new threshold down to its exact length, I'll make sure that the new holes and the old holes don't overlap. If the thresholds are identical, use the old one as a template to cut the new one. Most installation instructions suggest to cut the threshold so that it fits around the door stops. For a homeowner who likely doesn't have a jigsaw, making a complicated cut on a piece of aluminum with a complex profile can be difficult, not to mention the skill required to get the correct measurements. I traced the profile of an excess piece of threshold and cut the bottom of the door stops away with a Dremel tool, hammer, and wood chisel. If desired, make a test pattern out of cardboard. The pattern to cut is simpler and can be done with a hacksaw and a Dremel tool. The vinyl top might even line up under the door in a way that you can just make a straight cut. I have light on the other side of the door, and if I put my head on the floor, I can look under and see the light through the gap and adjust the screws on the threshold to get the gap as even as possible all across the door. Be kind to yourself or the next person and put a label with the threshold model number and the model number of the replacement vinyl underneath the vinyl strip. If it's difficult to insert the vinyl into the threshold or to take it out, heat it up with a hair dryer to make it more pliable. The bottom rubs a little bit more than I want it to. I can't make any more adjustments with the screws. The door is not cut evenly across the bottom, and the bevel is not flat. It took 3 tries to get the door to fit correctly. If there's an open gap between the vinyl top and the door, add something below the threshold to raise it up. I slipped a strip of sheet vinyl under this threshold to raise it up to make it fit properly. If you cut the door stops down, fill the gap with 100% silicone or a piece of foam. If it's an outside door, seal the area between the threshold, the jamb, and the stop with 100% silicone. Also, put a bead of silicone along the inside and outside edges before you install the threshold to the floor. If after making adjustments, the door still closes a little tight, you can keep it closed for 24 hours and see if the vinyl seal will compress a little bit. The problem might resolve itself. If the threshold is properly adjusted, you should be able to pull a piece of paper through it. I hope you found this video helpful. A thumbs up is always appreciated. Click on the channel name, Know How Now, to find other videos. And thanks for watching.